You like older women because you already know they are matured, they are smart, they are more intelligent, they've seen life, they have more experience, and therefore they can see when you are trying to play games with them and they are not ready to play those kind of games with you. And that's why you say that you don't like younger women. Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Itwa. Thank you so much for joining me on today's video. If you are new here, please take a seat, and if you're already a part of the family, like I always say, I do not take your support for granted. Guys, I'm so excited. This is my first sit down video for the year, and what better way to start it than to review Young, Rich and African season 3. Now, for some reason, I usually call it Young, Rich, Famous and African. I don't know why that is, but let's get into it. I was super excited when this show came out. I've seen season 1, season 2, and now we are going to talk about season 3. I don't know if I should start with Annie because she has been on a lot of people's tongue, and I have a lot to say. First of all, let's start with the show as a whole. Showcasing Africans doing good, doing well, showing Africans who are successful, showing Africans who are top of their games, who are making waves, in the world, and pushing Africa into the spotlight. And I think that's a really good idea, but you know what? Let's start with Annie. Annie Idibia, everybody knows she's Two-Face's wife. Two-Face the superstar. Everybody knows Two-Face, And for season 3, I felt really sad for her because the kind of narrative that was pushed with this particular season was not really pleasant. And I'm talking based on my own view. I'm not talking on what happened in season 1 or season 2. My review is just going to be based on what was shown in season 3. Okay, I don't know them personally. Like I always say, I do not know these people personally. I'm just talking based off of what was shown in the show. Okay, so Annie Idibia. Annie comes across to me like someone who is in a desperate need of a friend. She what's the word I'm going to use now? Annie doesn't seem like somebody who is very sensitive. If not, the back and forth that happened between herself and Nadia during Zari's wedding wouldn't have taken place at all. That is one. 2, she would not have talked about Swanky the way she did to Fantana if she was sensitive. And I feel that the fact that she just needed somebody to vent to, somebody to open up to, but she's opening up to the wrong people. She needs a friend, but she's looking for a friend in the wrong places. Like, I don't know. I also have a big issue with the whole friendship group, with the fact that somebody tells you something in confidence, and you go and blab, you go and tell 2 people, you go and tell 3 people. And that seemed to be something that happened regularly all through the show. It happened when Fantana was suspecting that she was pregnant. It happened when Annie said something about Swanky. It was just reoccurring all through the show, and I'm like, what kind of friendship is it that when your friend tells you something, you go and tell 1 person, you go and tell 2 people? Like, I was not just comfortable with that narrative. Like, I wasn't comfortable with it at all. That's for Annie. And then let's go to Swanky. Honestly, I loved Swanky this season. When they're just coming down from the vehicle, those kind of shots that they take when they're just coming down from the vehicle, and then you see what's it called? You see their shoes. Like, by his shoe, I know him. By his shoe, I know that this is Swanky. I loved his energy. I loved how he stood up for Iniedo. He was just a fun to watch, in this particular season. I loved Swanky. I loved how he stood up for Fantana, how he stood up for Kaylee, how he was trying to talk sense into the head of those other guys. All around, I think Swanky was a very interesting personality to watch on this season. Now that takes me to Fantana. There were points I was like, come on, like, even though she explained that she knows what she's doing, Diamond is not getting into her head, it was all for show. I'm like, it doesn't seem that way. Like, you can lie to yourself, but I mean, you can't lie to us, the viewers, because we know what we are seeing. She seemed to be so smitten that she can't even think, she can't even make decisions. It's like, what kind of hold does Diamond have on you that is making it so difficult for you to be able to break away from him? That part really hurts me, because she's still very young. She still has, her whole life and her whole career ahead of her, for her to just be stuck and just be, man. That was a lot to watch. And the fact that she went to blab to Swanky, I know she said her loyalty is to Swanky and the rest of them, but the fact that she had to go and blab to Swanky about what Annie said, I mean, if it's somebody who is matured, you should be able to keep that kind of thing to yourself, and she didn't only tell Swanky, she told Nadia also. So it's like, she just seems very messy. She just seems very messy, and I mean, she just seems very messy, and I don't know. Definitely not my favorite in this season at all, yeah. Not at all. So let's talk about Nadia. Nadia seems like somebody who loves her friends, stands up for them. Like, you could see that in the relationship that she had with Zari, and the relationship that she had with Fantana, and every other person there. Even the relationship she had with Naked, you could see her. And looking at her backstory of losing somebody very close to her, I actually have to give big ups to her for keeping it together, and also not allowing that to just be the sole focus of, or just allowing that to be her whole story for this season. She's somebody who is in mourning, and that could have excused a lot of tantrums and blowout and the rest, but kudos to her for being able to keep it together. I don't know what the issue with herself and Annie is, and I really hope they can work it out, but it just felt like she was really gunning for Annie a lot, and I don't know if it's because Annie has done something to her personally, or because she's just saying it like, oh, these are my people, the people I love, and you are hurting them, so I have to be the one to fight for them. And in some of the scenes, it just seemed like that, where she was like, are you guys not seeing what I'm saying? Or why do I have to be the only one to stand up to her? Why do I have to be the only one to still hold on to my anger, and you guys are forgiving her and interacting with her, that kind of thing? Apart from that, I can relate to some of the ways that she acted in this season, and I really wish her all the best, and I really hope, from my heart of hearts, I really hope that healing comes to her and she's able to move forward, she's able to be strong, and just get back to doing the things that she loves again. The next person I'm going to talk about is going to be Kefi Way. When she came into the show, I think it was Swanky. Swanky is the one that's always introducing new people into the show. So I think when she came into the show, I was super excited, because I just felt like she was going to bring a different sort of energy, and I was so excited for that. And but along the way, it just seemed like there was nothing happening. Some of the episodes, she didn't even she wasn't there. It was said that she traveled, but apart from her issue with Zari and the issue she's having in her marriage, which was not really clear on the details, the details were not really clear. That was all, but I really expected more from her per se. The way she entered, I just thought, she's going to give us basketballs, that kind of thing, but we didn't get that. Hopefully there's going to be a season 4, and then we can see more of her, because I actually think she's somebody that is going to bring a kind of diversity when it comes to their personality. Anyway, I think she's going to bring a kind of diversity to the show, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more of her. If we want to go a bit deeper into the issue she's having with Zari, it's understandable. I think that both of them are alpha females, and seeing the dynamic of the group and how Zari is placed, I think that her own person, she might not want to relate with Zari on that kind of level. I don't know, I'm just saying it based on what I saw. It might be the reason why it just seems like both of them do not agree on a lot of things, And then talking about Zari is the kind of person who knows she's beautiful, She's very aware of the fact that she's beautiful, she's very confident, she knows exactly who she is, and she's not going to allow anybody to stain her white. If you look at her demeanor, she's very royal, very classy, you know, even in the way she dresses and the way she talks. She's like a queen bee. She's also snobbish, and Zari is a lot. Let's give it up to the others for how they have been able to manage her and manage themselves around her, because even just watching her, you can see that she can be very dismissive of others, and it's like they just accepted it that, oh, that's who she is, you know. There's no when it comes to Zari, she doesn't. But I mean, Zari is I don't know. Zari is just a lot. She's just a lot. And then talking about her marriage with Shakib, man, I wouldn't say Annie is wrong. I would just say that Annie chose the wrong place, the wrong time, and the wrong people to talk about that marriage. Like, she shouldn't have said it she shouldn't have said it on the wedding day. She shouldn't have said it in the presence of those other people. It's something that she can go home and talk about. Like, she just said it in the wrong place and the wrong time. Like, we all know that, yes, Zari and Shakib, there's a huge age difference between them. In fact, even me seeing their interactions and the way they relate, you know that Zari is definitely older than him. I don't know what the attraction is between both of them, and man, I don't know. Shakib seems like a very down-to-earth person. I really liked the way I just love him, and I love the way he was talking to Louis, and also he was able to hold his head around Diamond, who is also like another case as well. So I wish them all the best, and I wish to see him more in the next season, you know, fingers crossed. Now let's talk about Louis. There wasn't a lot to Louis this season apart from the issue that he had with, oh no, he had an issue with Fantana, where he and Fantana were exchanging words with each other. There was also another issue of himself and Iniedo with the whole surrogacy kind of thing. At this point, I think that Louis needs to calm down and really think, and not just see every woman as what's the word I'm going to use now? Not just see every woman as a potential surrogate for himself. I mean, there's nothing wrong in wanting to have a family. There's nothing wrong in wanting to build a family. I just think that the way he's going about it is not right. Let me just put it like that. But apart from that, there was nothing really so memorable about Louis this season, you know. Yeah. Now let's talk about Quinton. That's Naked DJ and his fiance Kaylee. Kaylee is so beautiful. She seems so warm. And Quinton, like, you know, initially while the show was going on in the very first few seasons, I was like, what's wrong with Quinton? Like, just leave him, you know, that kind of thing. Like, why are you still there? But as it progressed and I was able to hear some of his reasons for that, you can see that he's talking from a place of fear. He's talking from a place of not wanting to fail again. And I can actually understand that. I also understand where Kaylee is coming from, seeing that, you know, she has never been married. She really loves this man and she wants him to be committed to her in marriage, but he is afraid because he has already had two failed marriages. You know, I could really see it from both of them's perspective, and I really wish that there was, like, at that time, I really wish that there was a way they could settle their differences. Like, there was a way they could just come together and find a common ground. And I don't really think that he has really opened up to her about why he is delaying or why he is just dragging his feet about, you know, getting married to her. I think he's able to tell his friends, he's able to, you know, tell some other people, but he's not able to tell her. And the same way for herself too, that she was able to tell other people about her wanting to move out and her not being happy in the relationship and not telling him. So now they are engaged. I really hope that the engagement doesn't last as long as the relationship has lasted. You know, I really hope that, you know, the marriage happens ASAP. Let's have another wedding on the show. You know, I really like them together. You know, I just wish that they're able to, they should just work on their communication more. That's what I think. They should be able to, they should just work on their communication more. They've been together for a long time, that some things shouldn't be an issue. Like they shouldn't have issues discussing some of all these things that are coming up, you know. I love Kaylee. I just love her presence. You can see when she's interacting with Zari, you can see how calm Zari is. Like, she's just a whole good vibe, good energy. And let me just say also that thank you to Kain for speaking to Naked and letting him know that, guy, you're missing. Like, if you let this girl go, it's better to love and lose than to never love at all. Yay! I'm really enjoying this review. Okay, let's go to Diamond. Not my favorite. Not my favorite. I don't know what it is about Diamond that just makes him feel so... You know, the thing is, I don't know much about his success. It's not something I've bothered to check out, and I know that he's a successful artist. You know, he has been around the world. He has a lot of popular songs all over the world. You know, he's a superstar. Yes, but you know, so there were a lot of times when I was just watching him, and it was just so cringy. Like, I was like, no. No. And then you look at Zari and you're like, what was the attraction? Like, girl, like, I mean, I'm not one to say that somebody is too good for the other person, because I mean, I don't know them personally, like I said, but based off on just what I was watching, I was like, no. And then the way he was berating Fantana behind her, and this Fantana did not even, oh God, she didn't even, like, she just refused to see it for what it actually was. He is just playing you. And like, he was saying something, there was something he said when he was talking about women. He was like, I don't feel, I know. He doesn't trust women, he's just using them, and he has a lot of women at his feet. And I think that's even another reason why he doesn't even respect them, because he's like, oh, if you say no, 100 people will say yes. I absolutely loved what Kefi did when she invited Fantana to the date she had with Diamond, and he started saying that he doesn't like older women. Why would you like older women? Because you already know they are matured, they are smart, they are more intelligent, they've seen life, they have more experience, and therefore they can see when you are trying to play games with them, and they are not ready to play those kind of games with you. And that's why you say that you don't like younger women. Because you are trying to save face. And then when he started saying that he was so excited, that he's so excited that Fantana is pregnant, I'm like, you really want more children without getting, like, I don't understand when people say that they will rather have a child than get married to somebody. I'm like, really? You rather... I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Like, why would you say that you would rather have a child with somebody than get married to the person? So the person is good enough to be the mother of your child or children, but not good enough to be your wife. I don't get it. If you understand it, please let me know. If you understand it, please let me know in the comment section, because no, not at all. Now, last but not the least, I think this review has gone for a long time. I actually feel I've been talking for a long time. So let's just end it with Eniedo. Honestly, when she came on the show, or when I learned that she was going to be on the show, I was like, is it really her cup of tea? Eniedo has kept a really low profile over the years. She's an icon when it comes to the movie industry in Nigeria. She's up there, you know. And so her coming to Young Rich and African, I was like, is she not too big for this? But I actually appreciate her presence on the show. She brought a breath of fresh air. She was quite different, and she was ready to give them gbas. Like, she's not taking anything from anybody. Like, she's not taking any disrespect from anybody, and I really loved that. I hope to see her more, you know, in the upcoming seasons, hopefully, but I was just so excited. And the fact that I was actually looking forward to herself and Annie being super close. Probably it's too early because she didn't come in like at the onset of the season, so probably it's too early to see that sisterly bond, that kind of thing between both of them. And they speak the same language, like you said, they're from the same village. And also to learn about her issue with fertility. And let's talk about something real on the show. That also brought substance to the show, talking about real issues that women face. And I'm really excited for that. Thank you so much for that, Iniedo. She's our brown sugar. I really enjoyed her. Thank you so much for bringing something different, bringing something unique, and bringing something different from Annie, because it just felt like Annie brought a lot of chaos and a lot of misunderstanding. I'm going back to talking about Annie again, but I just feel that she's kind of misunderstood, and she should really learn to be on her own. I'm talking about Annie now. Like, I know she's searching for friendship, and I know she's searching for that bond with other women, with other sisters. If you look at the way she bonded with Kefiwe, on the fact that they were both mothers. But I also feel that Annie needs to get to a point in her life where she's very comfortable being on her own, where she's not seeking out friendship, because it's that seeking out that is always putting her in problem, because she confides in the wrong people. Talking about Annie again. But anyway, I'm going to end this review here. Thank you so much for watching up to this point. Please, let's continue the conversation in the comment section. Let me know if you've seen Young, Rich and African. Let me know if you've seen the show. If you're going to be seeing the show, let me know. And thank you so much. I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.